What's going on, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name is Daryl and I am in the workshop working on these drawers that we made. Hold on. Okay, take two. We're here today in my shop and I am working on these drawers that we built. And I am putting a coat of sanding sealer diluted with denatured alcohol, and just to thin it down some. And I'm going over the inside and outside of the drawers with one coat of sanding sealer. And after that, we're going to come in with this clear polyacrylic. This is a water-based semi-gloss acrylic coating, I guess. And that's what I'm going to use. So we're kind of going to keep the lighter color of this wood. I'm going to preserve that a little bit, but you could see adding the sanding sealer on here gave it a little bit of color, and it's kind of blotchy, but I don't dislike it. So that's what's going to happen. So this one's already been coated with, or had the first coat of sanding sealer put on it. And we're going to move to the other two drawers. So I'm going to take this drawer and put it aside and let it dry, and then when I get all three drawers completed, I will let them set overnight. Then we'll be back in here tomorrow to start putting this clear polyacrylic on there. Or, I say polyacrylic on there, and we'll probably put like 2 or 3 coats on, and then let them dry for a good day, maybe 2, and then they'll be done. Alright, so let's get to work. Okay, we're going to go around the whole drawer inside and out with this tack cloth and just get rid of all the dust particles inside the drawer as much as we can, and hopefully that'll give us a better finish. So we just want to just go over everything, try to get all that dust out of there. I've blown it out with compressed air. I've blown the drawer on both sides with compressed air. And now we're just going to kind of go over that with this tack cloth. And I see a little bit of a bad area here, so I'm going to sand that a little bit by hand. I don't know what that is, but it is gone. Now, get rid of those dust particles. I am not a fan of finishing things. I just don't like it. I don't know. I think I always have such great, expectations for how it's going to look. And then when it gets done, it's sometimes, the majority of the time, it's what I think is going to look like. Like since I haven't used this wood before, I didn't know what was going to happen to it when I put the sanding sealer on it. So you can see what's going on there. So, it's a learning experience. So the one thing about being a woodworker is if somewhere down the line, I hate it, I hate what I've done here, I can build new boxes. Alright, so in this, I'm going to have to make some more, is a mixture of 50-50 of the Zinsser sanding sealer, and then 50% of the denatured alcohol. So I probably have enough to do the inside of the drawer, but I'm going to have to make some more. So I know you can't see me, but I'm just taking a little bit of it, and it soaks in pretty good, pretty quickly. So it's a real runny consistency, but you want to try to brush it on in long strokes and try to get some of the bubbles out of it. The bubbles will go away, the denatured alcohol will evaporate, and then all you'll have left is the sanding sealer. I don't like to use 100% sanding sealer. Now this is a shellac, the sanding sealer. And the reason why I'm doing that is just to try to fill in a little bit of the grain and to give me a better, start the sealing process. So if anybody ever, just spills anything in here, it'll be easier to wipe up and it won't soak into the wood. I'll also get that same effect with a polyacrylic. So I'm kind of protecting it two ways. Sanding sealer is nice because it's really easy to sand, of course, and it seals, as it says. And also, it dries really fast, and you can put a second coat on, third coat on, and kind of build the coats up. Now this is shellac, as I said, and you can buy shellac at the store that has that is not the sanding seal, just a regular shellac. And that has wax in it. This sanding sealer is basically the same thing, only it's de-waxed. There's no wax in it. That's why I like it. There's very minimal amber color to it. So on a lot of my furniture I will seal it, or I'll just build up about 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7, 8 coats of this sanding sealer, and that will be my finish. After I put all those coats on it, then I'll rub it down with maybe some 4/0 steel wool, and then it'll shine up, and then I'll put some regular paste wax on it. So you can see there's not a whole lot to it. And if you miss it, if you miss a spot, you can just go like that and go right back over it again, and you're not going to hurt nothing. You will not hurt it. It just melts right into the previous layer. So there's really not, it's kind of hard to mess up, let's put it that way. So I just go through. Now I'll let these, like I said, I'm going to let this dry overnight because I've only put one coat on. Let it dry overnight. And then tomorrow morning I'll come back out to the shop and we'll just lightly go over this with some sandpaper, maybe a 220 grit. Just knock off any dust nibs there are on it, and then we'll be ready for the final coat of, well, we'll be ready for the polyacrylic, we'll put it that way. So yeah, so I will have to make some more of this because I got this drawer to do and the outside of the drawer to do, and then I have the second drawer, the third drawer actually. The first one's done already. But it's, it's not hard to do. So I'm out. So I'm going to stop the camera here while I make another batch, and then we'll continue on. Now, when I make the batch, you can see I ran out, and this might be a little thin or might not be thin, but I can let this dry and then come right back and go right back over it again, and what I put on the second coat will melt into the first coat, and you won't even know you won't even see a difference. So I do like doing it this way. Alrighty, I made a little bit more here. So let's complete this. I'm looking for places that I missed the first time. But now I can just go back over it and you won't even know that I did anything. So I do like doing it this way. Alright. You don't have to put a lot on. You're just trying to seal the grain a little bit. It soaks in pretty fast. And by all means, if you guys have a way of doing this, let me know what you do. I'm always excited to learn new techniques. This is just a way that I've picked up over the years. I've made a lot of you know, a lot of different cabinets and things like that I've used this technique on. And I like it a lot. Alright, so we got that. Let's go around this edge here. And I'm not putting a whole lot on. It's not running. Just very lightly put a light coat on. These sponges do a fairly decent job. Sometimes if I put it on like walnut or a really nice piece of furniture that is like walnut or dark wood, or maybe not even dark really, if it's like oak, walnut, if I'm making like a cabinet or something like that, I will rub this up on with I will take some of this, it's like terry cloth, not terry cloth, but it's kind of cotton. I'll ball it up and I'll put it on with this. If this is going to be my final coat, we'll put it that way. If that's what I'm using as a complete finish coat, then I'll apply it a different way. But since I'm going to be sanding this, I felt no need to wipe it on that way. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So I'm going to put these little bench cookies underneath, and then we'll do the outside. Now I won't bore you with doing both of them. I just want to show you how I do this one. So you know, you're gonna get some of this on your bench. So I just put this paper down. Gosh darn, I put way too much on, and hopefully don't make too much of a mess. I stopped worrying about my floor. When I moved here, there was all kinds of paint, grease, you name it on this floor. This used to be just an open garage with a lot of leaking cars and leaking tractors and everything else. So there's a lot of goings on in here. A lot of maybe somebody working on cars and tractors and stuff in here. There's a lot of oil. One day I hope to be able to, you know, clean this floor up and put a nice finish on the floor. But right now, I gotta live with it the way it is. So my aim is to get this cabinet done so I can move on to other things. I got a lot of things I want to do in the ham world. I just picked up a bunch of ground rods for my tower, so I need to get those installed. It's getting to the point now where, you know, spring's getting close and we're going to start getting some thunderstorms, so I want to get that tower grounded. So I was able to pick some up today. The store I got them from was having a sale where if you bought 5 of them, you got like a couple of bucks off each one. So I bought the 5, and I'll use them all for sure. And I got that to do, and then I got to get back on the 6-meter repeater because, like I said, my goal is to have that thing ready by springtime. But you know, I have things I have to do too in my everyday life. I can't just do hobby life all the time. I wish. Well, this is kind of a hobby, but you know, no one told me I had to. You know, no one forced me to build this built-in cabinet. So now I don't put it that way. I was made to do it. I was not. But with having lots of different kinds of hobbies, I try to you know, divide my time up. But a lot of the times, one gets more attention than the other one, and that's just the way that goes, I guess. All right, we got one more side to do, and then this one I'll set it. I let it set here long enough for this to tack up and dry a little bit. It won't take long, but you can see if you can see it in the camera, the dovetails, when these get wet, it soaks into the end grain and kind of darkens those up a little bit, and it kind of looks nice like that. So I like that. All right. So I got one more to do. I'll do that off camera, and then we'll have to let this sit. So let me close this thing up, and the next time you see me, it'll be tomorrow. Okay, we're back in the shop again. It's the next day, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a first coat of polyacrylic on the drawers and let them dry, and then we will come back again and I'll lightly sand them, and I will put a second coat on it, and I think that's all I'm going to do. Just 2 coats of the polyacrylic, and that should do it. So let's get going. Well, I'm all done with the first coat, and boy, I tell you what, that was quite the pain. My arm is tired, but I got the first coat on there, so now I'll let these dry, and then we'll come back. You can see the sheen on that. It looks pretty nice. So one more coat, I'll sand it down, one more coat, and then these will be finished. But yeah, it only looks like I missed a spot here, but it's just the way the grain is. I'm really happy to get this far with these things. So let me stop the camera, let these dry, and then I'll sand them and we'll come back again. All right, what do you guys think of that? We got our drawers made, the bottom's in, we got the sanding sealer on, we got 2 coats of polyacrylic. I think we're going to be making some drawer dividers for the top drawer. I talked to my wife, and she kind of wants to have something to divide out the hats and gloves and scarves and things like that. So I'm probably going to do that. I don't know if I'll make a video on that. Probably not, but I might. I just want to thank everybody for stopping here today, and thank you very much to all my subscribers, and to those who just drop by and have a look at my videos. Thank you. And that's about, hey, leave a comment. That's great too. I love answering the comments. And if you like, leave me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and you'll know when I post another video. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.